Today I have mapped out a timeline depicting hominid evolution from Ardipithecus ramidus to Homo sapiens. However, I will only discuss the main hominids in our lineage. Early late hominids. Approximately 4 million years ago in the fossil record, these early hominids are evident. They had an ape-like structure which predominantly depicts long arms, a hairy, strong body, as well as a dominant and slightly projected lower jaw. These early late hominids were facultative bipeds, using their arms for support. Hence, they were transitioning into the bipedal motion and could only walk on the ground for short distances, while they would mainly move through trees by grasping the branches with their hallux, otherwise known as their big toe. It is indicative that their diet was composed of nuts, hard fruits and grains, due to their dominant jaws, wide molars and thicker enamel, while their minimal cranial capacity of roughly 300 to 450 centimeters cubed suggests that the brains were of a small size. Ardipithecus ramidus. One of the oldest fossils, about 4.4 million years old, that was located in eastern Africa. So Ardipithecus ramidus can be seen here. Ardipithecus ramidus, and we go down to 4.4 million years old. It had a strong ape-like appearance with pronounced cheekbone arches. It also had a dominant bone ridge at the top of the skull, so this is known as a sagittal crest. Therefore, it was one of the most primitive hominids. It shares a similar aspect to other and later hominids. However, it has reduced canines evident in its dental fossils. Ardipithecus afarensis. Fossils suggest that this hominid existed approximately 4 million years ago in southern and eastern Africa. So Ardipithecus afarensis. Go down to 4 million years ago. The renowned fossil Lucy, for example, was discovered in 1974 Ethiopia, while being dated to around 3.2 million years old. Her fossils revealed that she was most likely similar in appearance to a modern chimp and stood at 1 meter tall, while she also used bipedal motion, which is shown in her bone structure and fossilized footprints of her relatives. The hominids using bipedal motion were at an advantage as they became taller when stretched to their full height and on hind legs, enabling them to spot and access potential food sources, identify predators, free their hands, and also travel long distances. Ardipithecus africanus. Around 2.5 million years ago, this species existed with non-opposable big toes to permit facultative bipedal motion. Through the use of bipedal movement to progress from one location to another, these hominids were able to start learning how to use their free hands. Hence, the hands of Ardipithecus africanus began to shape into a slightly human-like appearance. So, Ardipithecus africanus is seen down here, having evolved 2.5 million years ago. The teeth also shared a similarity to human teeth, having large molars and smaller canines when compared to other primates. Cranial capacity was 1/3 of the size of a modern human. So now we'll discuss early Homo. Almost 2 million years ago, the early Homo species initially appeared in the fossil record. Cranial capacity increased from around 700 to 1,000 centimeters cubed when compared to the Australopithecines, while a reduction occurred in both sexual dimorphism, which is a distinct phenotypic characteristic of differing sexes of a species, as well as the tooth size, which is an indication of the change in diet. Smaller teeth, as well as the skeletal alterations that increase the support provided to an erect posture, provide evidence of a change in diet. Homo habilis. Located in eastern and southern Africa, while dating back to approximately 2 million years ago. Hence, Homo habilis is the earliest fossil of our own genus. So Homo habilis dates back here, and that goes down to approximately 2 million years ago. They are of the first in the hominid lineage to use simple, sharp stone tools known as older worn tools, while it is suggested that they used a precision grip due to the reduced size of their digits. Homo habilis evolved with a smaller jaw, which can be seen in the fossilized remains of the handyman, which is the first obviously human-like hominid in the fossil record. It is shown that they ate meat, having an omnivorous diet, which ignited the process of encephalization, which is the growth of the brain in relation to overall body mass. The introduction of meat into their diet enabled the rapid expansion of their brain, while Homo habilis were the first hominids to properly cook food. Hence, the increased nutrition, due to nutrients being cooked, they were able to access more nutrients from the food, while the dangers of the meat were reduced because it was cooked. So this increased nutrition aids in the process of cranial expansion. Homo erectus. Homo erectus was found in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia, where the fossils are aged to around 1.6 million years old. So Homo erectus can be seen here. 1.6, they diverge off, and you can see Homo erectus at 1.6 million years old. Almost 1.5 million years ago, they initially migrated out of Africa throughout Asia and were possibly the first species to accomplish sea voyages and construct shelters for themselves. Phenotypic characteristics changed, such as the vertical shortening of the face, reduced jaw size, and a modern human height was also attained. Their diet altered to comprise a larger quantity of meat, which may be accountable for their increase in brain size. The larger brain capacity may have enabled the skills to develop, such as learning how to manipulate fire, surviving colder climates, for example, living in huts, building fires and wearing clothing, as well as possessing basic language capability. Now I'm going to discuss late Homo. Under 1 million years ago, approximately 800,000 years ago, the late hominid fossils are evident in the fossil record. These hominids display an enhanced cranial capacity from around 1,300 to 1,500 centimeters cubed, as well as advanced cultural and technological processes, such as cultural evolution progressing from the nomadic or the hunting age through the agricultural or the settled age and into the industrial age. Homo heidelbergensis. This 600,000-year-old species is believed to be a direct ancestor to Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, where they were among the first to bury their dead. This is symbolic of the cranial expansion, which enables these cultural and social advancements to occur. So Homo heidelbergensis can be seen here. As you progress down, it shows that it's 600,000 years old. Homo neanderthals. Fossils of this hominin date to around 200,000 years old, while also suggesting that these hominids lived in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. It is believed that Homo heidelbergensis is a direct ancestor that diverged into Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, while these two new species coexisted up until around 30,000 years ago. So Homo neanderthals, you seen here, having diverged from Homo heidelbergensis around 200,000 years ago. Therefore, Neanderthals are they share similar traits to modern humans, such as a very similar phenotype. However, they were heavier set with more pronounced brow ridges. Neanderthals have larger brains when compared to Homo sapiens, which may have permitted the development of cultural habitats, such as burying their dead, constructing art, and fabricating hunting tools of stone and wood. Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens are thought to have diverged from Homo heidelbergensis approximately 195,000 to 200,000 years ago, causing the coexistence with Neanderthals. So this can be seen in our little flowchart. Homo sapiens are up here, having split 200,000 or 195,000 years ago, which we've just discussed. The two oldest fossils are located in two different sites in Ethiopia, dating to 195,000 and 160,000 years old. Homo sapiens are slimmer than older hominids, but they also lack the heavy brow ridges and can be seen on Homo erectus and Neanderthals. Large brain capacity is displayed through old art, such as cave paintings, as these activities indicate different levels of advanced thought. Homo sapiens are now the only hominid living in present day, as Homo sapiens are recognized as modern-day humans. Therefore, we are evidence ourselves of this hominid ancestry. Homo floresiensis. This hominid is approximately 80,000 years old, while it has adopted the nickname of Hobbit because of its renowned short stature. So this hominid can be seen down here, having evolved 80,000 years ago. Quite recent. It is uncertain as to whether this is a primitive human with a large degree of genetic deformities, or whether it is a separate species altogether. The Hobbit was existed up until 13,000 years ago. Thank you for listening.